All right, welcome everyone. I'm Bo. We're really excited for this webinar today with Privacy Glass Solutions. We've got our product expert, Carlos, here to give our presentation. I'm going to give it a few minutes to let some folks trickle in and start joining, and I'll jump into a quick demo about Acelab, we're our host for today, and give you some background on myself and what Acelab does. All right. So as I said, my name is Bo. My background's in architecture. I studied at Tulane. After our last event, someone reached out to me and mentioned they were also from New Orleans. So I always love hearing from other folks who have shared a love for that place. But yeah, so I studied in New Orleans for a few years, worked in some small firms there before moving to New York, where I worked at OMA for a bit, and then some other high-end residential firms along the Northeast, before moving to Denver, where I live now, and joining on to Acelab as an architectural product specialist. So at Acelab, my job is to work with all of our architects and builders who use our platform, help them out with their product research, with using all of Acelab's tools. So with that, I will jump in and tell you a bit more about Acelab, as well as how to find today's presenters and get in touch with them right on our site. All right, so here's a quick snapshot of some other members of our team. We're a team of architects who started Acelab, with the goal to start solving some of the problems we were experiencing ourselves in practice, with the vision to really build a one-stop shop for your architectural product specification needs. So this is kind of the the example of the problem that we came to Acelab trying to solve. So this process can often be a little disjointed. It's difficult to find the information you need when you need it, get in touch with the right people to be able to provide you with details or further product details that you might need. And saving and finding your old information can be really difficult. So Acelab has introduced basically a one tab where you can everything from research to saving your project library to communicating with reps, you can do directly through our site. So jumping over here to our live site, signing into my account, I'll just give you a quick tour of some things that you can do on Acelab, as well as how to reach out to our guests for today's event. So once I sign in, you can see I've got this library dashboard view where I can really quickly plug into all of the work that I've been doing on Acelab. So whether that's conversations I've been having, searches I've been doing, or my own projects that I've uploaded, I can get a quick snapshot of everything here. My library is at the top right. This is my space to save all of my data and my research that I organize and do throughout Acelab. So I'll just quickly jump through these categories. Here's my project portal. So I can upload either residences, or if I want to name a project general research or firm standards, I can do that as well. Really simple to upload a project. It's just 4 questions. So this is a pretty flexible system that you can make work for your firm. And what this does is if I save products here, I can always come back to my project and see all of the products that I've saved, filter by category, as well as see any other projects that I've saved them to. So if I go to my full product library, all products that I've saved to any project throughout Acelab's site or to no project are tagged here. So I can see if I've saved them into a specific place or if it's just something that I've saved for later. And then to quickly jump into, I'll show you this conversations tab as well. This is a newer feature on Acelab that we're really excited about, this ability to be able to communicate directly in the app. So I can jump over here to show you how that looks. If I've communicated with someone about a specific project, my project details are all saved here. So no more kind of repeating myself. You can also send attachments back and forth directly through this platform as well. And I can filter all of my conversations by project. That's your conversation portal. And then one last thing I want to show you over here, just to show you how to get to today's speakers on Acelab. So you can always, if you know who you're looking for, type in a manufacturer name to our search bar, head over to the manufacturer's page on Acelab. Scrolling down, you can immediately download their product brochure, as well as reach out to an expert and ask a question directly through the site, as well as get inspiration and a general kind of overview of all of their solutions. So this is a great way after the event, if you want to get in touch with somebody from the Privacy Glass team or learn more about their products, you can always head over here to Acelab as well. All right. Cool. So with that, that's kind of the end of my Acelab demo, and I'll hand it off to Carlos to get started with our presentation on Privacy Glass Solutions. Real quick, I just wanted to mention, if you have questions throughout the presentation, please feel free to enter them into the Q&A chat. We will answer them at the end of our presentation. We'll also pause a few times throughout the presentation to answer some of those questions as they're coming in. If your question does not get answered, don't worry about it. We will have a full report of all of your questions. So we'll follow up with you after the event if there was anything that we missed. And that should be it for me for now. We'll have a poll as well as a post-event survey after the presentation. Again, if you can answer those really help for us to keep bringing you these events, making sure that, you know, we're bringing the solutions and the information that architects are interested in. So we really appreciate it if you can participate in those. All right, that's it for me for now. And with that, I'll hand it over to Carlos to get started and sneak a peek at Privacy Glass Solutions. Carlos?
Thank you both. Hi, everyone. My name is Carlos Betancur. I work directly with Privacy Glass Solutions. I've been working here for going on over 11 years now. So I've definitely seen the company grow from, you know, just one of the products that we're going to be discussing to multiple products, all geared towards privacy and observation control and, you know, customizable to different applications, which we'll kind of review in this presentation. So obviously you'll have opportunities to ask questions, as Bo mentioned, and as you do, I'll do my best to answer those as quickly as possible. So here's a quick overview of what the presentation is. It's an AIA presentation, continuing education course. We're going to be discussing options like blinds between glass, non-electric privacy glass, and switchable glass. We'll also be discussing these options and how they can be installed with cost-saving installation and a modern, sleek design. Here's a brief overview of the learning objectives. So at the end of this course, you'll be able to identify the common applications of these products for observation, control windows, doors, and walls, as well as explain the key features behind these products and with respect to construction, operation, design options, and maintenance, and as well as discuss how Privacy Glass Solutions can play an important role in an effective infection control plan, and describe how these products can be customized to help manage light transmittance, sound control, and security. So we're going to be discussing 4 types of privacy glass options. But first and foremost, what exactly is privacy glass? Privacy glass is functional and aesthetically pleasing product used to control the visibility into or out of a space, while at the same time providing the option to restrict visibility entirely. Now, options available in the marketplace today include standard blinds, blinds between glass, non-electric privacy glass, and switchable glass, also known as e-glass. You might hear it as electrochromic glass, smart glass, or electric switchable privacy glass. So there's different terms or generic terms for that. But for now, we'll stick to either switchable glass or e-glass for the purposes of the presentation. Now, standard blinds. We're all familiar with standard blinds. Standard blinds are readily available and can be purchased at almost any local hardware store. Some of the advantages of using standard blinds as a privacy option is its low initial cost, ease of use, and they also offer a variety of types. Mainly, you're going to see wood or aluminum, and then you have a wide range of color options as well. Now, some of the disadvantages of using standard blinds for privacy control, first and foremost, is going to be the problem of accumulating dust, dirt, and debris. This can be extremely problematic in a healthcare setting. And additionally, there are allergens, pollen, and other particles that might be present in the air, which again is going to affect the indoor air quality. Other issues include chemicals and labor costs associated with the cleaning and maintenance of these blinds. And then, as you saw in the previous slide, that it can bow as well because they're exposed, so they're easily damaged. So this gives them a short lifespan, requiring the added expense of replacement. And also equally important to keep in mind are the potential hazards or safety hazards these can pose, especially in like a healthcare facility or educational facility. Now, blinds between glass. We're going to go a little bit of a little overview about each product, and then we'll discuss some applications, and then we'll dive into some more in-depth customization options. So a blinds between glass. So what exactly is a blind between glass? This is a hermetically sealed product consisting of 2 sheets of glass with a Venetian blind or a mini blind sealed in between. And then the glass can be customized depending on the application. So again, these are hermetically sealed. This aspect eliminates the accumulation of dust, dirt, and debris. And they're easy to install, especially those made with high quality materials. They can be used for large scale applications and can be adjusted for both interior and exterior applications. Now, a few points to remember about blinds between glass include the availability of warranties on the product. Blinds between glass are the least expensive privacy glass option that we'll be discussing today. In addition, some blinds between glass products have thicker profiles, so that can add to the installation cost. So a few points to remember here in a quick summary is that some profiles are thicker than others, so this can add to the overall installation and labor costs. So just something to keep in mind when you're looking for these types of products. Not all of them are the same. And we also have non-electric privacy glass. So this is a very unique product. This is a little bit of a hybrid of the between glass blind and a little bit of the electric switchable privacy glass. So this actually consists of 3 sheets of glass sealed together as a single unit. When open, the alternating sandblasted lines do not restrict sight line, and in the closed position, visibility is obscured. Besides being hermetically sealed and aesthetically pleasing and made in the US, non-electric privacy glass offers manual operation and easy installation. Cutting or drilling are not required to install the non-electric privacy glass. Now, a disadvantage to this product is the perception or percentage of visibility from a distance. So from a distance, the lines look like they can blur and appear as you can see through the glass. But again, that is from a distance. Now, you also have the switchable glass or the e-glass. This is where the entire glass becomes frosted and obscures visibility with the press of a button. Its frosted and opaque design is aesthetically pleasing and can be used for large scale applications. Obviously, it's going to be easy to use. It's going to be on or off. Now, it's also going to be the more expensive option out of what we're discussing today, from its initial purchase down to its labor for installation, as well as cost for any maintenance or repairs. Also, keep in mind that the lifespan of switchable glass is going to be generally about 10 years or so, or which we'll get into a little bit later, about an 80,000 hour life expectancy. Now, before we get into some details about these products, we're going to look at some common applications. So there's going to be countless applications, especially where privacy and observation control are needed, but we're going to talk about some of the most typical environments where these products can be used. Excuse me. So number one is healthcare. Privacy glass in healthcare facilities help maintain patients' privacy, confidentiality, and security. There are many types of healthcare facilities that include doctors' offices, clinics, surgery centers, specialty centers, and behavioral health facilities. Privacy is required in a wide range of areas as well. So within these facilities, you have things like, or areas such as patient rooms, exam rooms, ORs, ERs, NICUs, PICUs, X-ray rooms, even the visitors lounge. So anywhere where privacy and observation need to be controlled. So here we have a sample room at a children's hospital where the room was renovated. The window solution met the privacy and observation needs of the facility by allowing a large viewing aspect and full-length alternating lines. So there in the image on the left, or the picture there on the left, is a non-electric privacy glass there used to observe. Now, the main function of privacy glass in a healthcare setting is privacy. So an enhanced patient environment that offers privacy and security will promote an overall feeling of well-being that can lead to faster recovery. Privacy glass allows medical staff to observe patients behind closed doors and can also help with infection control plans by limiting physical contact and reducing exposure to both patients and staff. Now, privacy glass in staff areas help reduce noise without restricting visibility. Some privacy glass options can be activated with the use of an elbow or forearm. So we'll be able to zoom in a little bit later and show you how that lever handle is ergonomically designed to allow for use with an elbow or forearm. So here, this image You have the privacy glass located above the scrub station and in the door to allow for safe observation from a distance. Then we have high security. So privacy glass is also used in high security environments. Some examples are correctional institutions, prisons, jails, juvenile centers, mental health institutions, courthouses, government buildings, police stations, banks, and so on. Privacy glass allows for some degree of employee safety. Employees can observe activity without entering the room, and it can provide a barrier between the public and employees. It also can help restrict observation of proprietary and or private information on forms, documents, or computer screens. We also have education. Privacy glass can be used in educational institutions. So this includes anything like childcare facilities, schools, universities, and other learning institutions. Privacy glass can enhance safety measures to protect occupants and can also be switched into the closed position, and depending on the options can be locked to prevent observation into the classroom. This also can help with minimizing distractions coming from outside the room or office. Now, privacy glass options also allow for access from the outside with a key, which is ideal for an elementary and high school environment to allow observation without entering or disrupting the learning environment. It can also be used in staff restricted areas such as teacher's lounge or employee only area, providing privacy, but also allowing for visual awareness. Now, the last main application is commercial. So some examples of commercial are retail offices, stores, office buildings, private offices, conference rooms, and other commercial environments. In the commercial setting, privacy glass offers business and proprietary privacy. In the image here, this conference room is completely exposed to personnel. The privacy glass would offer privacy, observation, and acoustic control, as well as adding a pleasing aesthetic. So now we're going to dive into a more closer look into the products now and look at the between glass blinds. I do see a question here. I'm just trying to see how I can access it. It's my little screen here.
I can read it to you if you want.
Please, thank you.
In the event of a power failure, what state does the e-glass go to? Clear or as switched at the time?
That's a great question. So this is pretty much universal with any manufacturer. When there is no electricity or when it's off, that will be frosted, and with electricity, it will be clear. I have heard of some concerns, and I think this may be related to the question, but I have heard some concerns that, like in a healthcare setting, if there's a power outage, they would prefer that the default be clear. So a solution to that would be to wire this into like a power generator. So in case of a power outage, that won't be affected. Or some manufacturers have the reverse technology available, but that is a more expensive option. But that is also an option, as you do have the reverse technology where, again, it would be off would be clear and on would be frosted. But again, that would be a higher square foot price. But that's a good question there.
Awesome. Cool.
All right, so we'll be diving into some more in-depth look on the between glass blinds. Let me just adjust my screen here. We'll get started. So as mentioned earlier, and as stated in its name, blinds between glass product is essentially two sheets of glass sealed together, again, with a Venetian or mini blind sealed in between. But we're going to explore what exactly makes a quality blind between glass product. So number one is going to be construction. Choosing blinds between glass that do not have any external components can potentially save the end user money on installation because cutting or drilling into the door or wall is not required. So look for a blind with a thin profile, which can be installed just like a sheet of glass. So some products are constructed of 2 sheets of 5/32 tempered glass with a 3/4 inch air cavity with a total thickness about 1 1/16 inches. For exterior applications like this image here, the thickness of glass can be increased, or you can have different glass types depending on what's required in that application. Also, a quality blind between glass product employs argon gas and desiccant in the gap to prevent fogging and bowing, and thus increasing the durability of the product. So a variety of glazing options are offered by quality manufacturers, allowing you to find the best option to suit the intended application. So these are just some of the glazing options that you have: lead glass for X-ray rooms, fire-rated glass, different thicknesses of laminated and tempered glass. You also have protection against surgical lasers with laser polymer. This can be an acrylic and or film, depending on the specification of the surgical laser. You also have different types of impact glass, low E, which is commonly used for exterior applications. And then you have polycarbonate. Polycarbonate, you'll hear throughout the presentation, you may consider for its impact resistance, often used for behavioral health, high security, or mental health environments. Now, in terms of hardware, blinds between glass can have control knobs. You may see some manufacturers with pull cords. This image here is of a magnet. You also have ligature-free knobs, and you also have motorized as well. So the motorized is basically going to be a remote control or a switch on the wall, or both. They can be also programmed in a series or controlled independently, depending on how you'd like it to be programmed. Now, going back to the manually operated version, so this image here shows a magnet operable unit. You have what's called a tilt only, where you'll only have one magnet. Moving that magnet will rotate the blinds, and that can be controlled on one side or on both sides. And then you have what's called a tilt and lift. This image represents a tilt and lift, where you have one magnet on the left that will rotate the blinds, the other magnet on the right that will lift the blinds for maximum visibility. And this will also can be controlled on both sides if you'd like it as well. So these products will be durable, lasting for years without replacement or repair. So look for a manufacturer who offers extended warranties. Some manufacturers offer up to a 10-year warranty on their higher quality products. So the fundamentals here. So you want to look for products without exposed cords or wires that do not require special cleaning methods or maintenance. Be aware that some blinds between glass products may require special cleaning methods that will take time and money, and some products may require maintenance because of overturning. So something to consider as well. Look for products designed to prevent damage to the internal blind. Equally important is ensuring that the blind between glass is in fact hermetically sealed. Any questions on the between glass blinds before we get into the non-electric? Okay, so moving on. Non-electric privacy glass. So again, this is a little bit of a hybrid product. This is 3 sheets of glass sealed together with alternating sandblasted lines or frosted line pattern. So we're going to dive into what exactly makes this product. The construction, typical construction, is going to be 2 sheets of 1/4-inch tempered glass that sits inside a 3/16 air cavity. Inside that air cavity is a 5/32 piece of glass. When you turn the lever, the middle pane goes up, which lets you see through. Turn the lever back, the middle pane goes down, which gives you privacy. This is just a little video of how the construction is and how it's installed in a door. But this again can be in a door, wall, ICU sliding door, and different types of applications. It's only 11/16 of an inch thick as well. Now, this non-electric privacy glass is made up of 95% recyclable material, and it's considered maintenance-free. Now, this product is also hermetically sealed, so this is going to help enhance the indoor air quality because gases are not going to be able to pass through. You're not going to have dust, dirt, or debris accumulate. And also look for a quality manufacturer who provides a lifetime warranty. And we'll dive in a little bit in more depth as to why this has a lifetime warranty. Now, we saw in the previous 2 slides before where it was installed in a door with like a wood bead frame. This is another type of framing option that's available. This is a stainless steel hollow metal frame or light kit. This can be customizable for an 1 3/4 door. Typical is going to be gray, prime ready for paint, but it can be powder coated any solid color. Can also be even a polished stainless steel with rounded edges and tamper-proof screws. That might be considered for like a high security environment or mental health or behavioral health environment. Now, the integrated spindle. So this is the camshaft mechanism. So this is what we were talking about earlier about the lifetime warranty. So because this is maintenance free, this camshaft mechanism is actually what sits behind the lever handle, and it's what's used to open and close or to lift and lower the middle pane of glass. So this is backed with a lifetime warranty, and it has a certificate of test of over 300,000 terms. Also included is an impact absorption system, or IAS. This acts kind of like a spring mechanism to catch that middle pane of glass from coming down. It's a smooth and quiet transition from open to close. And then you also have different handle options depending on the application. Quality manufacturers offer different handle operations for their non-electric privacy glass. The standard option is the lever handle, which is the top left. You'll notice that that has some curvature there. That's what we were discussing earlier about being ergonomically designed to not only be able to use with your hands and fingers, but you can also operate that with your elbow and forearm. Other options include a key locking handle, which is ideal for situations where operating the privacy glass needs to be restricted. And then you also have the ligature-free or anti-ligature handle, which is beneficial in a healthcare environment. The slimline handle is designed specifically for ICU sliding doors or for clearance in between narrow openings. And in addition of having several handle options, these handles can also be operated single side or both sides of the panel, depending on the application. And they can also be mixed matched. So you can have a key locking on one side and a ligature free on the other. So those are all different handle options that you have. Now the glazing options, pretty much the same as what we saw with between glass blinds. You still have the lead, fire rated, polycarbonate, bully resistant, the laser polymer. The only thing that's not on here is the low E, and that is because that is intended for interior applications. And so that's why you won't see low E on this one, but everything else is pretty much the same. Now, as we've been going through this product, I'm sure you've noticed that this sandblasted or frosted look, this is the standard option specified with the non-electric privacy glass. So basically when closed, visibility is obscured. The sandblasted lines are ideal solution to enhance natural daylight. So visibility still can be obscured in the closed position while allowing light rays to penetrate. Now, non-electric privacy glass can be customized, making it more versatile option than other privacy glass options. A blackout panel can be specified where any colored vinyl is used instead of the sandblasting effect. So it can be any solid color. It's going to provide a complete blackout effect for aesthetically pleasing appearance. The viewing aspect remains the same with the panel in the open position. In the closed position, the panel offers the same privacy benefits with the added advantage of preventing any light from passing through. So actually, recent global healthcare studies have shown how enhancing or excluding light from certain areas can be an important aspect of certain treatment processes. Any royalty-free or licensed artwork can also be applied to non-electric privacy glass. So in the closed position, the image is the complete artwork. Note that the artwork image can be seen from both sides of the privacy glass, making it a great option for some applications such as pediatric, dental, or other office spaces. Graphic images and visuals can help create mood and enhance well-being in the built environment. Color and design can have an important impact, especially in healthcare settings where artwork can help soothe or excite, stimulate memory, or even help with orientation. A wide choice of graphics, colors, and images can help add a unique identity to any project, all while maintaining high levels of privacy and observation control. Custom graphics, they can include logos, brandings. Again, any image you'd like to include on there can be customized. So look for quality manufacturer who can create an expansive array of creative visuals to transform the aesthetics of the environment. Standard stock imagery and original royalty-free or licensed artwork can be used. Digital printing technology can place high-resolution images onto the glass for transparency. Artwork and imagery can be printed on almost any substrate, including tempered, annealed, and laminated glass, and polycarbonate acrylic materials. So you have 3D digital printing capabilities as well. The appeal of privacy glass can be enhanced with alternating curved lines, which offer a tranquil and pleasing aesthetic for patients. This provides a discreet monitoring and interactions with patients while providing a soothing aesthetic for patients' well-being. Non-electric privacy glass offers a variety of functional designs, including wall panels and doors, and you have custom sizes available. These images show surgery or port viewing surgery doors in the privacy glass is also being used as a patient whiteboard in a decentralized nursing station. So now we're going to talk a little bit about how these products are used in an infection control. So as mentioned earlier, non-electric privacy glass can contribute to an infection control plan. So look for vision panels with non-porous surfaces that are maintenance-free and can mitigate the spread of infection and meet all clinical infection controls. By utilizing privacy glass to view patients, medical personnel do not have to enter the room, reducing the spread of pathogens and the risk of infection. With the easy handle or ligature-free mechanism, the privacy glass can be operated with an elbow or forearm instead of fingers or hand to help reduce the likelihood of surface contamination. Privacy glass systems are ideal for operating theaters, research labs, and clean rooms where the potential spread of bacteria can be a threat. And then we have behavioral health applications. So integral blinds and the vision panels can both provide an element of all-around protection as a secure observation device to minimize risk and maximize privacy. Glazing options are commonly either going to be different thicknesses of polycarbonate or different thicknesses of laminated glass. In some cases, there may even be glass-clad poly of different levels as well, just depending on what the application requires. Another option is for increased protection is a specialty hard coat that can be applied to polycarbonate glazing. This coating can add a high abrasion resistance, chemical resistance, and long-lasting outdoor weathering performance. The glass is available in clear, and a wide range of tints can be customized to match any color. So look for a product with a limited warranty against breakage, yellowing, and hazing. And then you also have the different framing types and controls. These are what you're typically going to see in a behavioral health setting. Could be a polished stainless steel frame with rounded edges, tamper-proof screws, and your ligature-free knob and key locking knob are your common customization options for a behavioral health. Now, with a thin profile compared to other privacy glass options, again, 11/16 of an inch thick, non-electric privacy glass is easy to install, saves time, labor cost, and it's manually operated. So this is a great feature in case of a power outage or any other issue at the facility utilized by the public. So look for a non-electric privacy glass option with a lifetime warranty that has been manufactured in the United States. Any question on the non-electric privacy glass or vision panel before we go on to the last option we'll be discussing? All right, so this is a pretty simple one. This is, again, the e-glass or smart glass. This is where you have instantaneous privacy or clear viewing. Allows privacy and discrete observation with a stylish and contemporary aesthetic. With an on-off switch to remote control, the glass can change from opaque to clear. In its frosted state, the privacy glass acts as an electric blind, providing privacy and security for any glass or window partition. Switchable glass is manufactured with an LCD technology or liquid crystal film, which is laminated between two panes of glass. Can also be customized with fire-rated glass or lead glass or both. And then the clarity film basically consists, again, of a liquid crystal technology. So how does this technology work? So in the off position, these microscopic liquid crystals are scattered, and that's what gives you that frosted look. And then in the on position, these microscopic liquid crystals line up, and that's what lets you see through. There are some manufacturers that have different film colors. Most typically, you're going to have a white film, but some manufacturers may have different colors like light blue, green, pink, red, gray. And then you also have different thicknesses that this product can be customized in. It could be 5 millimeters, 6 millimeter, 8 millimeter. And then you also have different glass sizes as well. I believe it's up to 35 square feet per unit, a maximum height of about 120 inches, and a maximum width of about 72 inches. Now, different manufacturers are going to have different requirements when it comes to voltage. This is an example of a 45 volt related product. So basically what this translates to is that you'll have one transformer for every 60 square feet of glass. You can have this UL as an assembly upon request as well. So this is just a brief overview of how the installation works. Some common questions when it comes to the technical data for these types of products. Number one is going to be the haze factor. So how clear is this product in the on position? Here we have an example of under 5% haze. When on, off is going to be greater than 90. Another thing to keep in mind, two things, one of them is mentioned on here, the other one is not, is the lighting condition. If you have equal light intensity on both sides, that's going to allow the product to look a lot clearer than if you have unequal light intensity on one side versus the other. It may look a little bit more hazy. Also, when you're looking at this product straight on, it looks clearer than it would at a viewing angle. So that's another thing to keep in mind. Different manufacturers may have different viewing angles. Blocks more than 98% of UV, works in extreme temperatures, cold and hot, and again, has a lifespan of about 80,000 hours. So what that translates to, I use the comparison of a television set. So if you had this product on all day, every day, 80,000 hours would equate to roughly about 10 years. But under normal applications, you'll have sometimes off, sometimes on. So this should last more than 10 years. And you also, again, maximum size is about 35 square feet. I do see a question pop up. Bo, can you help me with that question?
So it says, is there a sign-in sheet for learning credit? That's a question for me.
Okay.
So Tim, if you are AIA approved, we did ask for your AIA number with the registration. So we will be submitting your attendance directly to the AIA. Please allow a bit of time for that to show up on your end. And if you're not AIA approved, we can provide a certificate of completion for you. So yeah, if you've given us your AIA number, then you're all set.
Okay, awesome. So besides instant control of privacy and single or double glazed panels, switchable glass is easy to maintain, comes in flexible production sizes with fire rated or lead glass or low iron glass, and it can be ordered with various shapes for unique design applications. So you also have different examples of installations here. So here you have some butt glazing where you have this as an office partition. You also have examples of where it's installed in an environment with condensation, moisture, humidity. Basically, what this is pointing out is that all four sides do need to be protected in such an environment. And I believe that's called like a wet glaze or a wet seal, just to make sure that those edges are protected. And then last but not least, you have your pivot hinge, which is basically an example of how this product can be installed in a door, a moving door, I should say, where the wires are concealed through the pivot hinge, and then you still have a smooth operating door, and the product works seamlessly as well. So that concludes the switchable privacy glass. So before we dive into the codes and test results, which is the last portion of the presentation, just want to check in with you guys, see if you have any questions so far. Okay. So the last part here, these codes and test results only apply to two of the products. It applies to, oh, I see a question. Bo, can you see that?
Yes, I can. So it says, is there a range or a general or range of tested STC rating in use with doors or window applications?
That's actually a great question. We're actually going to get into some STC rating testing now. And then once we review that, just let me know if that does not answer your question. But these test results are applicable only to between glass blinds and to the vision panel. So this does not apply to the electric switchable privacy glass. So number one is going to be your light transmission. So light transmission is measured in two ways. You have what's called the light source. You have what's called the relative transmission, and you have what's called the total transmission. Your relative transmission is when the light source is further away from the sample and the observer is close. And your total transmission is when the light source is close to the sample, but the observer is more distant. So what was tested was the blinds between glass product, and then three variations of the non-electric privacy glass with white vinyl, black vinyl, and the frosted look. You'll see that throughout this report, black vinyl is going to be the one that blocks the most. The frosted or sandblasted is going to enhance or allow the most amount of light to penetrate. And then you'll have a split second between white and blinds between glass for the rest of this report. So same here with the relative and total transmission. You'll see the same results with the black versus between glass blinds versus the frosted. And the same here with the UVR, where black again is going to be your number one as far as preventing, and then your frosted is going to again allow or enhance the most. And then here we have the STC, which was one of the questions. So STC is a sound transmission class. It's basically a rating of how well a building partition is going to block sound in ceilings, floors, and windows, really any other surfaces that are rated. These ratings are listed in decibels or in volume. So basically what was tested was a 1/4 inch tempered glass with a 3/16 air cavity with a 1/2 inch laminated glass, and that gave an STC rating of about 39. So higher STC ratings can be achieved. You just have to increase the thickness of the glass on either side. So 39 is going to be about the roundabout for these laminated products, or for in this case the 1/4 inch with the 1/2 inch laminated. So in summary, privacy glass solutions are perfect for any environment where privacy and observation controls are required, including healthcare, education, high security environments, and commercial applications. Look for vision panels that are maintenance-free and made in the USA. Privacy glass can be customizable and easily and cost-effectively installed in windows, doors, or in walls. They are modern and aesthetically pleasing while providing privacy, security, and multiple design options. So that concludes the presentation. Any questions?
Thank you, Carlos. Yeah, feel free to start posting some questions. I'm going to go ahead and put up a poll. So if you can give us some feedback on this poll, that would be super helpful. And I'll just leave that up while folks can submit some questions into the Q&A and we can answer them. An email to reach out to the Privacy Glass team. Carlos, would your email be best, or should we share a different one?
No, you can use mine. Absolutely.
Okay, great. So I'll share that in one moment. Cool. I'm also going to send over in the chat for everyone right now, just while we're here, we've got another event tomorrow. So if you want to register for that, feel free. And I'll be posting Carlos's email for you in just one moment. Oh, looks like Jamie might be doing it. Thanks, Jamie. All right, interesting. So I'm taking a look at some of these responses that we're getting on this poll so far. And it looks like most folks are very interested in their products being designed, engineered, and assembled in the US, which I always find interesting. Let's see. Also, a lot of people saying that quality is most important to them, as well as all of the above, which yes, ideally, I feel like price, customer service, quality, lead time, and use of product are all pretty important. Oh, and actually, I just remembered there's one more link I'll share with you all. If anybody has a few extra minutes at the end of today's event, I will be holding some office hours, so you can feel free to jump into this next meeting link that I'll share with you. If you have any questions about Acelab, things you'd like to, ask me as follow-up for today's event, feel free to just jump over there. I'll be giving kind of like a quick another overview for anyone who might have missed our demo in the beginning, as well as answering any questions. So sending this over in the chat now. Here's my office hours link. And I will be jumping in there around noon, so feel free to join me there if you're interested. Someone else asked, is there any such thing as one-way privacy glass? Carlos,
yeah, there is a product, or the product can be specifically talking about the vision panel and the between glass blinds can be customized with a one-way mirror. So we have had that come up in different applications. So short answer is yes. It's just really a matter of who you want to give the control to for privacy and observation. But yes, the product can be customized with one-way mirror. The only thing to keep in mind with one-way mirror is that it's going to be required that whoever's being observed is in a brighter or more light intensity, and whoever is observing would need to be in a darker setting for that to work. If there's equal light intensity or high light intensity on both sides, you will be able to see the person on the other side.
Cool. Oh, one thing I want to mention before we get to our next question is anyone who's interested in ordering samples in our post-event survey, you'll have the option to select which samples you'd like to order. So yeah, be sure to answer that to get some samples of these products. Next question, can you have the same lighting conditions on both sides?
If this was pertaining to the electric switchable privacy glass, yes, you can have the same lighting condition. Basically, what we can do is we can share the manual that kind of describes 4 different scenarios of ideal lighting condition and non-ideal lighting condition. So basically, you don't want to have very dim light in one side and very bright light on the other, and you also don't want to have direct light directly over the glass, because that can contribute to a little bit more of a haze factor. But if it's equal light intensity on both sides, is more optimal.
And then someone else asks, there was a restaurant in New York that had toilets in the middle of a bar. People in the restroom could see people outside but not be seen. Really nerve-wracking to use. That sounds very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I've actually seen the bathroom installation as well. I don't know about as far as the one that I saw was more like everything is clear until you go to use the bathroom and you hit the lock, then everything turns frosted. So that is how the technology would work. And basically what they did is they would make the lock work in sync with allowing or preventing electricity. So kind of like using the lock almost like to turn it on or off.
Name of the restaurant is Peep, which is very clever. And then another person asks, will the product be yellowing throughout its life cycle?
No, shouldn't have any kind of yellowing. Really, this product as a standard is going to be more for an interior application. If you did want to use this as an exterior application, and specifically talking about the electric switchable privacy glass, it can be customized into what's called an IGU or an insulated glass unit, where you can have low E to prevent, keep heat in or out depending on where you are and what the application is. But that would also obviously, give it a higher lifespan if it's being used in an exterior application.
And then the next one, is there a size limit of the privacy glass for both the electric or the non-electric options?
The non-electric does have different, so the non-electric is called the Vistamatic Vision Panel. That's the product line. And that product line does consist of 5 different models that are going to be, each are going to have its own size restriction. So when referring to the Vistamatic Vision Panel product line, it depends on what the application is and what the size is, and we'll make a recommendation on which model is best suited. So there are some size restrictions there. With the electric glass or the electric switchable privacy glass, really is no restriction other than as long as one side does not exceed, like if you have one side where it's at the top height of 120 inches, the maximum width would not be able to exceed, I think it's about 72 inches, which is going to be roughly about 35 square feet or so.
Okay, great. And then can the electric glass be used in a wet location like a shower?
It can, but definitely have to be careful on how it's installed. So I think the term that's used is a wet glaze or a wet seal, where basically the sides, the edges of the glass have to be protected, and there cannot be any condensation or moisture that penetrates into the edges.
Okay. Any special cleaning instructions?
There really isn't anything too specific as far as cleaning. It's just using like a damp cloth, nothing that's going to be over, you don't want to or expose it to too much moisture, so basically you don't want to sit there and spray it down with too much Windex or something like that, where that starts to seep into the edges of the glass. So ideally you want to use just like a damp cloth or towel and something mild or non-abrasive.
Cool. Can this be used on exterior windows for sun control?
Not for sun control per se. The electric switchable privacy glass is intended more as a privacy product, but it can be customized for exterior use, but not necessarily for daylight control. It really would be, again, the low E option would make sure that you have your energy efficiency there. But it's more of a privacy product, not so much a daylight control. Although it does block 98% of UV, it is intended more as a privacy product.
This is a fun one. What is your favorite application where privacy glass was used?
The most interesting one would definitely be the bathroom. It's always odd to me that people do relate this product to either a bathroom or a shower. But I think the coolest or most interesting application that comes to mind is a jewelry store VIP room, where someone wanted to kind of have an enclosure where they would bring their VIPs in there, show them special stuff, but then turn everything off when they're in that room. And then when they're out of the room, they turn it back on and it turns clear. So I thought that was probably the most interesting that comes to mind.
Oh, that's very cool. Let's see. Tim says, we used something similar at a townhouse where the owner wanted to have a window in his shower facing the street. Usually clear, but he could shade when in use, installed in a typical window. Yeah. And then are there any plans to make this switchable glass solar so that when it's engaged, it can generate power?
That is a good question. That I'm not really sure of right now. What I will say is that we are actually working on, going back to the earlier question, we are working on a daylight control type of scenario. But as far as solar power, nothing that I can recall has been kind of brought up with it as far as a solar power option. But I'm sure that won't be far away how things advance with this product.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Do you have one-way vision glass? Did we answer that one already?
Yes, yeah, we kind of talked about one-way vision, or it's called one-way glass, I guess you would say, but it's more about the lighting condition to make sure that's effective. Again, you want to have the observer in a darker setting than the person being observed.
All right, great. Looks like we are now out of questions. If anyone has any more, feel free to send them in. We'll give you a few more moments to get in some last minute questions. And if there aren't any, then we can let everyone go a few minutes early. John says, thank you. Thank you, John. Thank you, everyone else who came today. And thank you, Carlos. Today's presentation was really awesome. It's great to be able to, hear like really the details about specific products like this, and to hear like so many interesting use cases is really fun and exciting too. I always love hearing how like people are using products in like new or just different exciting ways.
Absolutely. Thank you, Bo. And thank you everyone as well. Appreciate the time and everyone's attention.
Well, all right. Looks like all of our questions are just thank yous. So yeah, I guess with that, we can let folks get out a few minutes early. Again, I posted a link for tomorrow's event as well as my office hours at noon. So in a few minutes, if you had any other outstanding questions, wanted to hear a bit more about Acelab or missed our demo in the beginning, feel free to jump over there and we'll chat some more. All right. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks, Carlos. Thanks, Privacy
Awesome.
Glass.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it, Bo.
Bye.
Bye-bye.